Ladies and gentlemen, your top three here in Austin. Your race winner, Alex Rins, second place for Valentino Rossi, and third for Jack Miller. Wow, what a day it has been. It has been here in Austin. Alex, many congratulations. Your first ever Motogp victory at a circuit where you picked up your first ever Grand Prix victory, of course, back in 2013. Talk us through the race, a fascinating one. Of course, Mark going down surprised everyone, I think, but it looked like you were just stalking Valentino for a while and finding out his strengths and weaknesses. And then when you got through, you must have had quite a nervous last couple of laps.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. As you said, I get my first winning here in Moto3 2013, and the feeling was incredible. During the weekend, sincerely, my feeling was not the best one. We suffered a little bit for stop the bike on the angles, on the small angles. But anyway, when we start the race, I tried to forget everything. I tried to ride. I recovered a lot of positions the first lap, so this is important. And when I was behind Valentino, I was at 1.5 seconds more or less, and I was saying, "Come on, Alex, you need to arrive. You need to do a bit of a spectacle, no?" And finally was like this. I arrived to Valentino. I was studying him, and in the end, when he did a small mistake, I overtook him. And you know, I did the last 4 laps in the first position, and to the end, I did a small mistake on brakes. On T11, I go a little bit way, and I was thinking, wow, now Valentino will overtake you, and on the straight, ciao. But he come with me. He also go a little bit way, and I tried to stay calm the last lap. I knew that Valentino has a lot of experience on this case. And nothing more. I'm super happy. Suzuki deserved this victory. Together we deserve it, so we need to continue the same line.
Just explain how much this really means to Suzuki as a manufacturer. It's a massive win for them, of course. Their first since Maverick Vinales at Silverstone 2016. Just a tremendous result. And also it proves how crucial the qualifying is for you, getting on those front 3 rows.
Yeah, basically this victory is incredible for Suzuki. They work very hard. You know, this is my 3rd year with them. The last year we've been very strong in the last part of the season. In this pre-season we work really hard to have a competitive bike, no, to improve our competitive bike from the last year. And we did it. We improved not 1 second, but 3 tenths, 4 tenths. That in the end, in 20 laps, it's a lot of seconds. And in the end, well, it's incredible. I get my first victory here in Motogp. So I hope to ride on the same level for more races.
Many congratulations to you,
guys.
Alex, race winner here today in Austin. Valentino, an eventful race for you. A really good start off the line. But Mark obviously got into turn 1 out front. You tried to stay with him for a while. I'm sure you were as surprised as everyone else when Mark went down, and you must have thought, well, here is my chance for victory. But unfortunately, Alex gets you in the end, although you really kept him honest. I mean, right until even the final lap, you made a 1/4 of a second up. So you must be gutted, but at the same time, delighted to be back on the podium again.
Yeah, it's like this. It's a mixed feeling. From one side, I'm very sorry because it's a long time that I don't win, and today was a great opportunity. But on the other side, I'm happy because it's a good race. I was strong also during the weekend and also last weekend in Argentina, and these 20 points are very important for the championship that is open. So it's more positive than negative. Yes, like you said, I try to stay close to Mark because I know that I think that he tried to escape, and I try to ride well to stay close to him, but he was a bit faster than me. But anyway, I lose a little bit. But anyway, I feel comfortable, and I was good. And after when Marquez crashed, I remain a little bit surprised, sincerely. And I think, okay, is a good opportunity. We try, but I try to ride at the maximum, to ride smooth. Was a good race because we are fast. My problem is that Rins at the end was faster. He ride very well. He's good in braking. And I think that if I do everything perfect, I can attack him one time on the last lap. But unfortunately, I did 2 mistakes in braking, and I take a little bit of disadvantage. But anyway, remain a good race.
As you say, the bigger picture is it's very good for the championship. There's 9 points between 4 riders going into Jerez. You love Jerez, and it seems as though the Yamaha is working well. You must be very happy with the package right now going into the European season.
Yeah, the championship is very interesting, especially after the mistake of Marquez. But you have 4 different riders and 4 different bikes in 9 points, maybe. Now we go back to Europe. I love to race in Europe for sure because I know very well all the tracks. But Jerez is very difficult. In the past, in 17 and 18, was a disaster for us, for Yamaha. We were slow. So it's very interesting to understand if this year we can be more competitive also there.
And congratulations to you, Valentino. Back-to-back podiums then here at the start of the season. Now on to Jack Miller. Jack, welcome back to the press room on a Sunday for the first time since your iconic win in Assen. Well deserved. This has been coming, hasn't it, for you and the Pramac Ducati, although you did in the end have to ride quite a lonely race at times.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, it's great to be back here. Long time between drinks, that's for sure. No, I had like you say, a lonely old race from about 10 laps to go. I optioned the soft front, wasn't ideal. You know, I missing the FP3 and FP4 due to the weather was real crucial in me making that decision because I rode with the medium front on Friday and just didn't feel too comfortable. And after speaking to these guys, they had similar problems, but seemed today it seemed to come back into its own. It seemed to be a bit better. I started really struggling a lot with the right hand side of the soft front, and you know, the rear was perfect the whole way through. So I sort of just tried to manage it the best I could. I saw Morbidelli was behind me for a bit, about five seconds. And just tried to manage that gap, and then I saw Dovi got in front of him, and then it started coming down quite quickly, and yeah, the heart rate started going back up. But no, it was a good race, good start. Like you said, Mark got a great start and really pushed, and Valet went with him hard. You know, Crutch and I felt on the limit. Literally, I don't think they were like qualifying laps at the start. We were pushing really hard, and you know, I didn't want to let them stretch too much out, and I think that was part of the reason why Mark crashed, was how hard he went at the start. He overcooked the front, obviously, and just was trying to get the temperature down and wouldn't do it. So, you know, fortunate today with the 2 crashes, but hey, we'll take it.
Qatar aside, of course, was a bit of a disaster, but in terms of your pace, you were in the running for the top 5, a 4th in Argentina, now a 3rd here. Things are looking bright. You're gelling with that Ducati 2019 bike very well.
Yeah, like you said, Qatar, apart from the rest of them, you know, since we've glued the seat on properly, it's been roses. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do in Europe.
Thanks very much, Jack. That's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Floor questions, please.
Yes. Valentino, sorry to interrupt you during your readings. Where is your M1 better here than last year? What's the difference?
Allora, we try to work on the electronic side for improved acceleration, because we have always problems to exit from the corner. And it's better also. We find also better balance compared to last year. The bike work better. And we try to work on the engine brake, on the acceleration, on the smoothness of the engine. And looks like that We need time because we have some area where we have to improve, but looks like we start in the good way. This is we follow the right way. This is important. We have a good group in the box, and the challenge is difficult for sure, but we improve.
Question for Alex here. We saw at the end of the race that there is a team communication with saying mapping 3. Can you tell us more about that, or does that help at the end of the race?
Well, I suffered a little bit to see the pit board. So, you know, during, I think, me and all the riders need to change the map to reduce the power. If not, the tires will destroy in 5 laps. No, so was for remaining.
2 questions. One for all 3 of you. On Friday, everyone was talking about the bumps, what a disaster the place was, and so on. So I just wanted to know what that effect had on the race, whether you felt it in the race, how you dealt with it. And my second question is to Valentino and Alex about, do you think your bikes are more balanced around here than, say, the Honda and Ducati? More balanced and more friendly, let's say. But first of all, the bumps to all of you.
Well, I think the bumps, I was suffering a lot on T2, on the second corner. Depends of the line, depends of the position. You feel more or less. But you know, mostly on the end of the race, when I was going through these bumps, I was losing a little bit the front tire. And this start to be dangerous. We already talked on the safety commission to do something for the next year, because it's a shame, no? Come here in America on this nice layout and feel all these bumps.
Yes, in the last years, always the Yamaha is good here in Austin. Also because we have a good stability on the bumps usually. But like Alex say, it's a shame because the track is fantastic, the layout is great, but for the bumps is the worst track in all the season, and also today is the same than Friday. We speak in the safety commission, but it's not easy to fix. So I think that we have to take the bumps.
Yeah. No, as the boys said, it's bumpy out there. I almost killed myself this morning down the back straight. Like I didn't really understand how Mark had that head shake yesterday, but I got it this morning on the first lap. I literally went out of the pit box and I thought it was game over. Just the wind was a little bit in the wrong spot, and it started tank slapping on me, and I literally had no idea what was going on. My feet came off, the brakes were gone to the handlebar, the lever, I had to pull it like 6 times. So there, and like Alex said, you know, I had the, as I said, with the soft front, and going into turn 2, you almost roll off early and have to take the chain force back on with the gas to actually accelerate over the bumps, otherwise the thing gets all swapped out. And doing that, you're going through the most crucial part of the corner with the gas on, taking load away from the front, and it was just towards the end of the race. I mean, I had 3 or 4 times on my elbow there, quite a big time, and yeah, we were fortunate today. I think also in the race, to be honest, down the back straight, I had quite a good opportunity to pass Cal there on the first lap, but I wasn't game to pull out and try and pass with the wind and everything, because the front wheel's bouncing up and down, and when these bikes come past each other at close quarters, it blows like that, and that's the last thing you want at 340 k an hour or 330 k an hour. So definitely something needs to be done.
This is not for the bumps. This is for the speed, tío. If you get Suzuki or Yamaha,
less problem. For us, it's less problem at the end of the straight.
Yeah. But I felt my groin is hanging off now because, you know, the bike is so fast. I got to try and get us through that first sector of change directions, and fuck, the last laps I'm going. I think I would have swapped with you halfway through the race.
No, which was the second question? Sorry.
Just the. I just wanted to talk about the general balance of the Suzuki. You always talk about how balanced a bike is. Do you think that is a particular advantage at a track like this, which is a very bumpy, tricky track?
No, for sure we have a balanced bike. We during last year this pre-season we did a very good job with Suzuki staff to improve the bike, and I think our base setup is very nice. Bumping track, long track, small track, with long straights. You understand, no? So I think we can fight in mostly all the tracks, for sure. With big straights like in Qatar, we will suffer a little bit, but I'm strong. I feel strong. All the team are giving me good vibrations, so this is nice.
A question for Alex and a question for Valentino. Alex, does it feel like this is the start of something different for you now that you've won the first race and got that out of the way? And Valentino, we've seen you in previous seasons recently be really consistent and use that to challenge for the title. Does it feel like that is possible again this year?
Well, for sure. Since middle of the season, 2018 season, we did a big step. No, I was excited to win. I was very close in Valencia last year. I was so close in Qatar. Sincerely, I was thinking on the victory. No, me and all my team, we was thinking on this. Finally arrive. We don't need to lose the papers. We need to continue same line. Continue. For sure, we need to improve the qualifying to start on the better position. But we need to continue the same work as we are doing now.
Is early to say. Allora, we have some positive things, like for example last year maybe I don't make 2 second place, so just 1, so already 2. So but on the other side depends very much also on what's happened during the season, because now MotoGP is like Formula 1. I mean everybody working and everybody improved the bike. In 2017 after Austin, I was first in the championship, but after we arrived in Europe and Honda and Ducati improved, and was the second half of the season was a disaster. So we need to take these points, this result for sure, but keep concentrated and push on Yamaha for work, for improve the bike, because usually in the second half of the season everybody make a step. So and try, but in all the 3 races of this year I was competitive, because also in Qatar I was fast. This is the most important. We have to try to continue like this.
Question for Valentino. Valentino, when you following Alex, you saw clearly what is happening in the Suzuki now, where Suzuki is better than Yamaha, and in the first 3 laps you saw some differences also with Honda, or Mark is doing the difference there?
Allora, with Alex, for example, he ride very well. He did 2 or 3 places, a very good line for avoid the bumps, and he was very strong in braking. And looks like that the bike is good, and he can bring the bike at the limit. I think that at the end he was a bit faster than me. And Marquez at the beginning, he was very fast, change of direction, acceleration, and braking, more or less everywhere. And also he ride very well here in Austin. He have some small tricks, some small secret that are very clever to go fast in this track. I think this.
A question for Valentino and for Jack also over here. Hello. Hi. It's a similar question actually about Alex. From what you see on track, is there anything that he does specifically well in terms of his riding? And also, do you consider Alex to be a challenger in this year's championship?
No, definitely. Like he said before, you know, he have a little bit the opposite of my problem. I'm always there in the qualifying and seem to struggle in the race. So he have the other way around. Like we see that today, if he gets a decent qualifying position, he's able to challenge no matter what. You know, every time I sit down with the team and make a debrief, you know, or a plan for the race, we always say Rins and Valentino, they're going to be there in the race. Doesn't matter where they qualify. You know they're going to be there. So, no, I think the Suzuki is working really well at the moment. You know, we had a great battle in Argentina, and I was able to see some things. So also today, you know, once he came past me, he clicked up a gear. You know, he saw Mark go down, I feel, and then he's put the red rag to the bull. He took off. So no, I have to say big congratulations to him, and I think, you know, this is just the start of something for him and for Suzuki.
Yeah, I think that for sure is as an opponent for the title, because it's not a one race. It's from the second part of last season that is always in front, and is always, like Jack say, that is always very fast in the race. Also, if sometimes struggling in the practice, and I'm very happy with this because we are more or less in the same boat. So a lot of time I see his lap time and I say, fuck, one that is slow in the practice. But for me, he ride very clever, in a clever way, and he's very smooth with everything, and this is very important for save the tire in the second half. In fact, in the second half of the race, he's always strong. And it's very difficult to beat, yes.
Valentino, yeah. For the two last years, the Spanish Grand Prix was a bit difficult for you. Rins was a big problem for the grip, for the Yamaha. Do you think this year it could be different? And do you think that this race could help you to understand more about what to expect for you this season?
Yeah, I agree, because in 17 was a disaster, and in 18 was a bit better, but anyway, I suffered very much during all the practice. I was during all the weekend. So for us, Jerez, I love the track, but looks like that in the last years is not easy for us. So like you said, it's very important for understand if we can be strong also there is very positive. Yeah, maybe we have new asphalt, maybe better. Yeah.
This question is for Jack. Jack, we know that Petrucci's on a one-year contract with Ducati, and is one of your goals to get the other factory seat for next year? Is that one of your goals for this year? And what do you think you have to do to be more consistent and make a run for the championship?
For sure, my main goal is to try and secure a factory seat. I'd love it to be at Ducati. I feel, we're doing a good job this year so far, out qualifying him every time, and both races I finished in front of him. So, no, it's been a good year so far, but we'll wait and see. Normally the last couple of years I've always started the season out strong, and let's say around Mugello, the wheels are kind of falling off the wagon. So hopefully this year we'll be able to keep them on and keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, another question for all three riders. Today there were two more jump starts. Is this something that you can think about, or is it just part of race preparation and doesn't bother you? Because it's a little strange. We had one 2 weeks ago and then two more.
We didn't see them. Were they bad ones or worse than Cal? Yeah, a little bit. Fractionally. Maverick was quite big. But were they one behind each other? How did it go? Did one go and then the other jumped, or it's hard. We haven't seen the tape, so it's kind of hard to say anything at the moment. But they said no moving,
Yeah, if the rules say you can't move, you can move. For sure, when I was waiting for turn off the red light, I saw Maverick moving a little bit. We talk about this regulation, no? But finally, if you move, you need to do a race through, no more.
For me, the rule is very strict for sure, but it's the only way to fix the start. So you cannot stop, because if you start, maybe you move a little bit, but you don't take advantage. After we open a situation that you cannot close. So it's like this. For sure the penalty is too high. So because the right through, you lose 30-35 seconds and the race is over. Maybe we have to think to something smaller, I don't know. But for me the rule is the only way to be sure that nobody move.
All right, Coda has always been difficult for tire management. Valley, as we watched it come into the last laps, it didn't look like you were as aggressive on the brakes towards the end as you were earlier. Was that a part? And the second question for all three of you, you guys wear black Stetsons well. I got to hear a great howdy y'all from each of you.
You need to say howdy. You need to say howdy, y'all.
What?
Howdy, partner.
Like a cowboy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, but I tried to push in the last lap for arrive very close, for try one attack, but was not enough. Dobbiamo dire. Vai, Jack. No. He's try you before.
Howdy, y'all.
Maybe Jack is better.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, yellow.
Die.
Howdy ho. Like this.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, one last question.
You're not done yet.
To come back to the ride-through, did you talk about ride-through penalties in the safety commission, and did you talk about the long lap?
Yeah, we talk about the long lap, but after, allora, a lot of people are agree, but on the same time, Cal say, but I take already the penalty, the bigger penalty, so now if you change the rule, I am disadvantage. The discussion keeps open.
Exactly, the discussion keeps going. I mean, if we look back to rules changing after people get fucked over by the rules, look back to Argentina last year. About the rules changing after. What about me in Argentina last year? So anyway, somebody gonna get the stick. So doesn't matter.
So maybe a good thing is try to change for next year. Maybe. Yeah.
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it's not.